And we're back. Hello. It's been so long. So guys, in my previously posted video, part 1 of this now 2-parter, I showed you some updates on some plants that I had acquired recently. Now I want to show you some new plants that you haven't seen yet. This is the first time they're making their debuts right now. So that's what I'm going to show you. And starting with, we're going to start with this one. This, my friends, is an Epiphyllum. It is, I believe, referred to as Queen of the Night. I'm going to put the botanical name right here so that you can experience that, because it's not in here right now. It just left. I can't remember the botanical name of it, but it is an Epiphyllum. It was a semi-rooted cutting when I received it. So it had roots. They were just very, very small. And this is obviously the cutting off of a main, off of the main plant. So got it into soil right away. It was shipped to me bare root, and it's stable. I think it's hanging in there. I haven't seen much out of this one yet. I think I acquired this in May. I think that's right. End of May, early June, maybe. But I just really enjoy these. They're just the big paddle shaped plants. Even if it doesn't get much bigger than this for a while, I'm kind of okay with it. I just think it looks really neat. I got this off of Etsy. So this is Epiphyllum something or something. Again, down below. Next, I'm going to show you 2 plants, and they are, I think they're the same plant. They're definitely the same family, genus, etc. Of course, everybody has one of these, it seems like. Everybody covets the variegated version. Neither of these are variegated, but I don't have them, or I hadn't had them yet in my collection, but now I have 2. So, this is, of course, the Serapegio woodii, the string of hearts, rosary vine, etc., etc. A few other names that it has, but I call it string of hearts. This one it's obviously potted up, you can see, and it's got some new growth happening already. It seems like it's kind of over its transition period, and it's starting to trail, which makes me super happy. So I've heard these guys need bright light, high light, humidity, etc. So that's what I have going on with it, and it seems to be liking the situation. So this is my bigger one. This one I did get off of Etsy as well. And then my other one, there are actually 2 smaller plants that I got. These ones I did get from Josh's Frogs. Same plant, I think. They just look so drastically different though. So I know that these plants can vary quite a bit, the string of hearts, in terms of their patterning, in terms of the leaf shape, probably very much dependent on how they're grown and in what conditions. But these leaves look a little bit more like spades. If you play cards, you know what a spade is. So I've heard something referred to as a string of spades before. Not sure if that is an actual variety of Serapegio, or if that's just a name people have nicknamed it in addition to being, string of hearts. Not entirely sure what the naming history is there, but this one is definitely a lot greener. I know these, let's compare. Yeah, they look pretty similar in places, I guess. This one just has like a big chunk of what seems to be kind of a solid color on its leaves. This one does seem a little bit more patterned and lighter and greener. and obviously they are trailing quite a bit. So these came in little 2.5 inch grow pots, and then I got 2 so that I would be able to combine them and have a larger plant, mainly because Josh's Frogs tends to ship their plants in the 2.5 inch size. So instead of waiting around, I know, which is totally fine, wait around if you know, are okay with the size of the plant and you want to see it grow in your house. They will grow in your house. I wanted to kind of kickstart it and have a little bit larger plant to begin with. So I will eventually repot these together. I have a Hoya to show you. So this guy, this cute little Hoya, is called Hoya sp or Hoya species India. This one I got as a cutting, and I got this Hoya along with one other Hoya cutting from Coco Ranch Hoyas. The other cutting that I had gotten was Hoya diversifolia, and that was a big, beautiful cutting that didn't make it. Tried like hell to save that Hoya, and it just perpetually tried to rot on me in whatever medium I tried to root it in. They were both unrooted cuttings. This one took really well to water, so that is how it rooted. I do have it planted up now, as you can see here, and I'm trying to transition it by keeping it relatively damp in the soil just for a little while so it can acclimate. It seems to be doing pretty well because this is a new leaf. This little growth point here is happening. And then there was one smaller little piece that I took that didn't do as well. So I did end up re-chopping that one, and I have that one kind of rehabilitating or re-rooting in water, which it's doing well. So that's cool. Hoya India. Another cute one to add to my collection. So I'm excited to see how this guy does. This is kind of an interesting one because I did have a version of this plant. I'm trying not to show you right away. I did have one specimen of this plant previously. I've had that one for a little bit for a little while, and it hasn't done a lot for me in terms of growth. So when I saw this plant show up on Logi's on their website, I ended up picking up one of the plants off of Logi's, and it got to me, and it was surprisingly large for the plant that I was expecting based on what my other one looks like. So I'm gonna stop being cryptic right now, and I'm just gonna show you my Veld grape, also known as Cissus rhombifolia. No, also known as Cissus quadrangularis. This is Cissus quadrangularis. Quadrangularis. I wish I had a Cissus rhombifolia though. I do have a Cissus rhombifolia. What am I talking about? Anyway. It's been a long week. It's been a long month. It's been a long year. 2020's been long. Cissus quadrangularis. Can't even really fit it all in the frame. Here we go. So these 3 little stubbins right here, this was my original plant that I had gotten off of Etsy a while ago. Hadn't really seen anything out of it until I replanted it with this Cissus from Logi's in this pot, in the soil that I get, the organic soil, the espoma soil. And now, of course, now, after all this time, you can see right there, and right there. Focus. So I guess, like, it's kind of a new plant and it's kind of an update because I potted them together. This one came with these leaves on it, so it was already well established here. This is new up here, this one little new segment. I think this little Yep, this little new segment right here. Right there. That's new. But this was a decent sized specimen to begin with. Only when I potted them all together, kind of noticed that these guys started sprouting new leaves too, and new segments. So that's exciting. It must like something about its situation now. And I dig this plant. I think it's so odd and interesting looking, and I don't have anything else quite like it in my collection. It kind of resembles jungle cacti, but it's a cissus. It's related to oak leaf ivy and grape ivy, so it's in that family. But it's just a really cool plant, and I am excited to have this larger specimen, and I'm excited that this one is deciding to show up and do something cool. So that is Cissus quadrangularis. And then, yeah, I have one more I'm going to show you. So this plant, I also already have a version of. This is Aspidistra eleator, or a cast iron plant. You might notice this one has some speckles on it. This one is called the Milky Way cast iron plant. So these are natural speckles, natural coloration on this variety of cast iron plant. And cast iron, like a variegated cast iron plant, is on my wish list. I have seen them actually like variegated, like hardcore variegated, like a variegated snake plant, like a whale fin. You've seen those, or like a Monstera deliciosa, albo variegata. They have those in this plant form, and I want that. But this was carried at my local nursery, Tonkadale, out here in Minnetonka, and I had to pick one up. I really did. So when Tonkadale opened, they did kind of a soft open with reservations where you could go to shop for an hour. You had to reserve a time. You booked out, you paid $25 to reserve a slot, and then you showed up and did the whole CDC guidelines with face masks and social distancing and all of that. They have such a good system there. You could go in person to shop, and you know where my $25 went to soil, and then it also went to this plant. So I am thrilled that I have one of these. And I think I see some new growth happening right there. Cool. Cool. So this is one of my new favorite plants. I love cast iron plants. They're just so low maintenance. You barely have to look at them and they'll just continue to grow. They do really well in low light, and you can kind of just leave them alone. So yay. That is it. This was kind of a quick part 2, but I feel like I've done enough talking, and I think coming up I am going to do a Hoya video. I'm also going to give you an update on what my patio is looking like, because I have been busy out there making that a cool, livable outdoor space for the summer. So that's coming up. Until next time, enjoy your plants.